Welcome back, fans and friends. For this upcoming video, I have the second part to the Frozen Black Pearl series that I have anyway. There's probably more. But this one here is a 1956 Ford F-100 truck. And so this series was coming in transition with Ford, so they were going through a bunch of engines. So they could be either the inline straight six in here, it could be the Y block, or the Lincoln, what's called the Lincoln Y block in here. Anyway, that's the important part. But the non-important part is you have it here. Sparkling paint. It is, like I said, from their special series WMTS20, the 85th casting of this year. As you can see there, the gap between the bed and the cabin. There is just a single joint from the base, and it's thankfully not broken. It doesn't appear to be anything on the license plates, but when I take it out, we'll get a better look at that. Probably doesn't help the paint. And then there we have it. Details like no other. The Cast Lines rocket right there. Special edition. Obviously brought that up with the Impala. And so here we have all the information, the warnings, and the legal information. There's the Goodyear for the tires, although I don't think it says Goodyear on these. AT, Ford, Dodge, which is obviously it's not a Ram, it's not a GM. I think it's one of those. And 2024 cast lines, and we have the usual 180th day of this year, 15270R. Facebook and Instagram if people are interested for cast lines. So I'm going to go ahead and open it, and this is probably one of let's just say the fresh reviews, where I literally have no other Ford F-100 that I've covered. I've covered a few Chevy trucks, covered a few D100s from Greenlight, but nothing from M2, and nothing from this age from Ford. I've done a few Ford F-150s, 250s, 350s, dualies, and so on, but nothing from M2. So here we have it in all its glory, and you can just see there the whole door hopefully will open when I decide to pull it apart, and thankfully there we have the hood opening, and everything else. Just gonna pop it out. So here we have it. Starting from the front, we have, it's very much like the Black Bandit, the matte black, except for obviously this one's in pearlescent paint. The difference is it gets very hard to see certain things. However, what it is nice is it in fact has inserts for lights. The grille is very plain. We have there the old Ford symbol, and not what people are familiar with, the blue oval with the Ford in the middle. Spaced out bumper. Remember, this is before the impact bumper and everything else. And things were just a little bit more simple, and obviously less well defined. You see there, spacer for the front window, and we just see there in the front. So I'm thinking F-100, and then it's Ford. So that little red there, you can just see that the F-100 and then the Ford. See, it's really clear, and I don't understand why Mattel, after all these years, still can't get it right. Extended wheel wells for the front and rear of the truck. No other identification markers for trim level or anything else. White wall tires seem to be okay. They're obviously not perfect. You can just see there the white paint has come here and come off. Onto the rear, we have extensions, and I do believe that these are glue-on. They're just pieces of painted metal that go into the sockets there. You can just see how this one's not properly glued, and on this one it is much better. You can just see there the reflection from the glue, and you can just see on this side a little bit of a paint issue right there. It's not my fingerprint, that's for sure, because it's not here. And onto the back, unfortunately the license plate is done in such a way, as you can just see there, I'm reflecting the Ford. Only visible in certain shades of white. It is not, I do believe it's not an impression, it's just overpainting on the body, which makes it kind of hard to see. Like I said, it was completely not visible from the case. But like what I said earlier, unfortunately, the license plate has nothing. The bed does not open, so unless you break it, then it will open. But you can just see there. And onto the underside. So nice and plain. I do believe these are the mufflers. And you have one there, yeah, one there. There's the front screw, and this is actually interesting because normally they have a pivot pin in the back. This one appears to have two separate screws, and I guess because the setup is different, so perhaps they've also screwed in where this truck goes. This is actually, like I said, the first, I've done a pickup truck and an SUV before, but I believe it was Chevrolet, and I wasn't quite as familiar as I am now. The normal M2 cars will just have the one screw because there's that pin in there. You slide it in, push it down, screw it in. But because these are separate pieces here, you can just see there the gap. This thing is separate, and then I believe it's kind of unusual, but the whole front cab only has the one screw here. Or perhaps it pushes down here and connects it. I'm not sure. Anyway, gonna pop in, open the door. I was trying, actually, I just saw now, there's these little reference points here. I cannot read them because they are done in such a way that it is exceptionally hard to read. You can just see how clear that is to read. And then here, I mean, it looks like somebody's signature. But I'm not sure. So the doors will be very hard to open because you only have just the slightest of openings. Unfortunately, I don't want to open it with a screwdriver or anything else, so that's kind of a bummer. Like I said, my fingers don't fit in there to pull it out. Normally there's a gap in other M2s, you can actually pull out the door. I'm gonna try again, and hopefully not. I just actually saw, I apologize, the rear windscreen for the truck. All right, so I got one open, and the other one is just a matter of pushing out with the screwdriver. There you go. Now they are both open, and you can just see there the plastic. I didn't break it, but it did move a little bit, so I'm a little bit worried about that. Anyway, you can just see there the rear windscreen. I don't know how I missed it, but you can just see there the gray border, and that's unlike the rest of the vehicle, because you can see there no, it is one piece, so it's highly unusual. I think actually if I were to take this apart, this would go inside there. You can just see there the two pins where it slots in because it's not screwed in at all. Anyway, not so as important. I'll take a look at it later. Maybe not on video. Anyway, hard to make out any more details. You can just see there the steering wheel. Gray seats. Obviously, this is not the extended cab version of the truck. So it's reasonably well done. Like I said, the only major issue I saw was this here. But other than that, a little bit of a misglue on that. And you cannot really straighten it out with, probably not without breaking it, which is a shame. And you can just see the glue points for the front side mirrors there. So there, it's really well done, and here it's very poorly done. So anyway, let's take a look at the hood. Nice and easy to pop open. This is, I believe that, I think this is a Y block engine. It's a very, let's just say, plainly done. And it's nice and bright yellow base and black top, but usually M2 can actually, I think, do a better job than this. But still, our first experience with the truck, and look how wide the hood opens. I think this is the widest of any vehicle I've ever had from Greenlight, M2, Auto World, or Johnny Lightning. I don't think anything opens quite as wide as this does. So there you have it, fans and friends, the Ford F-100 Black Pearl Series. Great addition. Like I said, it's the first pickup truck from the F-100 pre-1960s I think I've done. And more or less, I actually enjoy how this one turned out. Maybe not a huge fan of the pearlescent paint. I like the same thing I said about the Impala, but great for starting out if you're going to get this one. It was on the shelf anyway, so I decided, you know what, I haven't done too many. A minor issue too is I want to get them If I'm going to pay that kind of money for these things, I'm going to get it with the hood opening and the doors too. Like I said, the doors are a little bit finicky. I managed to not scratch them and to demolish them, but I managed to get one open and then push out the other one. They will be left like this when they go back in the case, because it's purely for display. Anyway, fans and friends, thanks for watching. This is Thomas from Toronto, and till the next one.